Welcome to the Work at Home Career Summit, brought to you by AWAI, American Writers and Artists, Inc. My name is Roy Furr, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to work at home as an internet research specialist. Now, there are some important questions we're going to answer for you today in the time that we have. First off, what does an internet research specialist do? Second, why is this such a hot opportunity? Third, how much can you make? Fourth, what qualifications do you need to get started? Fifth, how easy will it be for you to get started? Sixth, how do you get clients as an internet research specialist? Seventh, what's the impact of this economy on the internet research specialist business? Eighth, how flexible are the hours? And nine, what do you need to get started? So, let's dive in. First off, I want to introduce you to Sandy Ferguson. Now, she's the one that actually discovered the internet research specialist opportunity. I've worked with AWAI to bring it out. Sandy was looking for the freedom and the independence of the writer's life without actually becoming a writer. Now, for those of you who don't know, the writer's life has some major benefits. One, you get to control your own schedule. You start and stop work when you like. You work as much or as little as you like. You take impromptu days off, whenever you feel like it. You can spend afternoons with your family. Your time is really yours to control. The second major benefit is that you get to live and work wherever you want. You work from home. You can make your home anywhere and work with clients that are literally all over the world. If you want to take a trip, you can work a couple hours in the morning. You can explore wherever you are for the rest of the day. Anywhere that you can plug into the internet, you can make money using. You can make money as an internet research specialist. You can make money through the writer's life. And then you also, the third major benefit is that you get to work and earn as much or as little as you want. You set your fees at whatever the market supports, and with something like being an internet research specialist, you may be surprised what the market does support, and how much the right clients are willing to pay. Then you work really as often or as little as you like, based on what you need and what you want. You're in complete control of your income and your financial future. And Sandy found these benefits by doing something a little bit different than writing, by helping writers and marketers succeed. And for those of you that might wonder what the writer's life looks like on a day-to-day basis, whether you're a writer or an internet research specialist working from home, you can walk down the hall to your home office. You can fire up Google, as an internet research specialist and just start searching. You sit down at your desk, you turn on the computer, you're looking up things for your clients. And if you have a laptop, you can take that outside. You can work wherever you want to if you feel like getting out of the office. I'll put that in quotes. As you're surfing the web looking for interesting articles based on what your clients have requested, when you're an internet research specialist, the ones you find, you just copy and paste them into Microsoft Word. And when you found enough, you just send that document over to your client along with an invoice for your web surfing time. Occasionally you may be interrupted. A new client or repeat one may email you with topics to surf for on the web, or they'll call. Maybe you'll notice the mailman showing up, and so you want to go out and check and see if you got any big checks from your clients. That makes any day a better day. And then, you stop when you feel like it. You think, all right, well, I've made as much money as I want to make today, or I guess I'm done surfing for the day. You simply just stop working and call it good. You don't have any boss to check in with, no schedule to keep. So this really allows you to fulfill many of the ideals of working at home. So you may wonder, what exactly does an internet research specialist do? What do you do that affords you the freedoms of the writer's life without having to really write anything? With all you really have to do is surf the web and look things up for clients. So writers need content. As an internet research specialist, what you're going to do is you're going to find it for them. You're taking over the research task. Now, I'm a writer myself, and I know how painful it can be to do all that research myself before internet research specialists really existed. It's tedious when all you want to do is just dive in and start writing. And as an internet research specialist, you give the writer a bridge from that desire to just dive in and start writing to the actual ability to do it. You do all their research for them, hand it to them on a silver platter, and then they can do what they really want to do, and that's start writing. From the writer's perspective, you're saving them valuable time and energy that they can either, for themselves use as time off to enjoy the benefits of the writer's life or spend with their family, or it's time that they can refocus on writing tasks, which in their business is the most valuable task that they can do. So why is internet research such a hot opportunity right now? Well, right now we're in, and have been in for a while, what has been called the information revolution. There are currently over 1 trillion web pages indexed by Google, and millions more pages are created daily. It's estimated that as many as 5 trillion web pages actually exist, but many of those are behind barriers that Google can't index. Now, writers are paid well to create a lot of this content. In some cases, the writer will be paid a couple $100s to create a web page on a single topic. But they only have so much time to write and to sift and sort to find the right source of information on their topic so they can really provide an informed perspective on what they're writing about. And because they only have so much time and they're expected to create, writers are creating millions of pages of content a day. And because they only have so much time to create content, they want to outsource some of the tasks that are less essential or that don't take advantage of their core competencies. And with all that content being created and writers need to outsource, that creates a great opportunity for people who are going to do internet research. So you may wonder, with writers creating all this content and outsourcing the research task, you may wonder, taking on that outsourcing, being the person that they outsource to, what can you make? What can you make as an internet research specialist working from home? Now, I told you that a writer may be paid $200 to write a small page of content on a single topic. They also may be paid $10,000 to write a longer piece of content. And so these writers, especially those that are writing long, involved content and being paid well to do so, they need a lot of research. And they put a high value on that research as far as how it creates valuable content within their writing. And so when Sandy started out doing this, she kind of underestimated what the value of an internet researcher was. And she thought about it in the context of, well, all I'm doing is going out to the internet and surfing, trying to find information on a specific topic, and I'm giving that information to the writer. So they can't think of that as being too valuable. Let me charge $18 per hour. That seems reasonable for what I'm actually being expected to do. Well, clients jumped on that. They loved being able to outsource their web surfing, their research for only $18 an hour. But then Sandy thought, well, if they'll pay $18 an hour, maybe they'll pay a little bit more. And she slowly notched her price up and up and up. And then discovered that clients would actually pay as much as $50 per hour and possibly more for a great internet researcher, somebody who's able to go out there, find information that's relevant to the topics that they want to write about, that is the type of standout information that makes the writing the most interesting that it can be. And $50 per hour is a very reasonable rate for that, for these writers who can sometimes make, $10,000 and even as much as $20,000 by writing a longer report on something. So if you add it up at $50 per hour, even just 20 hours per week of paid research time, that's $50,000 per year, which is a pretty reasonable salary for anyone. If you really dive in head first and you're able to get some good clients, some consistent work, 40 hours per week of paid research time, and you're making $100,000 a year. Plus, there are some other opportunities as an internet research specialist that may allow you to charge even more for your time, such as interviewing clients for your clients, interviewing their customers, and getting some additional research that you don't necessarily find by surfing the web. So with that sort of income, what qualification do you need to break into the internet research specialist market? Well, number one, you need a computer. You need to be able to, surf the web and copy and paste information into a Word document. So number two, you need to be able to search the web. A high-speed internet connection is good. It allows you to work faster. It provides more value to your client for every hour you work. I don't know if it's necessary, but a high-speed internet connection would definitely be recommended. You need to be able to follow some simple directions. I keep saying this is simple. All you have to do is surf the web, and to a large degree, that's true. But Sandy's put together some more specific research skills to being an internet research specialist that will allow you to be much better at your job and really justify that $50 per hour rate, even right out of the gate. So you need to be able to follow the simple directions that Sandy's put together, as far as becoming an internet research specialist. And then I put this in kind of facetiously, you need to be able to cash a check. You need to be able to run a small business, a solo entrepreneur business, which really isn't that complicated. But you'll invoice clients, you'll charge clients for your services, you'll communicate in a professional way, and you need to be able to go out and check the mail and enjoy when you see a check there, and you tear open the envelope and you look at how much it's for, and then you take it to the bank and put it in your bank account. I put it in there facetiously. This really is a simple opportunity with a very low threshold of qualifications needed. You can do this if you're excited about doing it and you're willing to learn a little bit and go out there and get started. Now, how easy is it to get started? One, you need to get the specific skills. Mostly this is a matter of honing skills that you already have. Like I said, you're surfing the web, you're finding information. Most of us do that on even a daily basis in today's world. And so you need to be able to go out and surf the web and find specific information. When your client wants information on, say, causes of a heart attack or vitamins that support low blood pressure, or types of ETFs that you can use to invest in precious metals, or whatever the topic is that they want information on, you need to be able to go out and find reputable sources of information on those topics. And so this is honing skills that you've probably already been building through your regular casual use of the internet. Number two, you need to be able to get clients, and we'll talk about that shortly. But basically, you need to be able to approach people who may need research help and make an offer for your research services. It's fairly simple, and I'll show you how it can be even simpler. And then number three, you need to do the research your clients ask for. When they say, I want information on ETFs for investing in precious metals, you look up information on ETFs for investing in precious metals and you send that to them. It's really simple, actually, to get started, and your day-to-day life as an internet researcher is something that you can enjoy all day, and not feel too stressed about your job requirements. Now, how do you get clients? I mentioned this briefly before, but you need to approach writers, marketers, authors, speakers, anybody who needs research, who needs valuable sources of stories, of specific facts and figures and information, who needs to add proof and credibility to what they're writing, the information that they're putting together. And you find those people, you approach them, you offer to take this necessary task off their hands, and some will say yes, some will say no, some will say not today, and then they'll come around and hire you tomorrow. But the simple thing is that you need to be approaching these clients on a somewhat regular basis and saying, hey, I can do this for you. How can I help? So remember, although you are providing a simple service, surfing the web is thought by most people to be one of the simplest things we do every day. You're doing something that's actually far more important for these people. You're saving their valuable time by, again, taking a necessary task off their hands. They need this research. Without you, they have to do it themselves. And for many of them, for most of them that are going to readily hire you, it actually decreases the value of their time when they have to spend it on research. So they would rather hire somebody to do the research portion for them, or at least the majority of the research for them, and have that person deliver all that research to them where they can see it in one place, where they don't have to go out and go looking for it and surf through those trillions of pages of content on the internet to figure out which is valuable, which isn't. That takes a lot of time, and you're saving their time doing that by doing that for them. Now, you may wonder how internet research specialists are actually doing in this economy. And it's a bit of a complicated question to answer, because although Sandy started doing internet research a while ago, a few years ago, the Internet Research Specialist opportunity as presented by AWAI, and they're the first people out there to really present this in any coherent way. The Internet Research Specialist opportunity presented by AWAI was only presented in 2010. And so it's been a secret. It's been Sandy's secret. There's a little frame of reference for how Internet Research Specialists were doing before the recession versus during and after the recession. Yet what we're finding is even in the middle of the recession, unemployment rates are sky high, and people are having trouble finding work. But Internet Research Specialists don't seem to be having the same trouble. There's an overwhelming need for internet researchers right now, regardless of the economic conditions. And I think part of that is because, as a society, we continue to produce and consume so much information. But also beyond that, there's such a driving need for valuable content to help writers develop what they're going to write. And before now, there hasn't been anybody to fill that need. And so whenever you're able to identify an unfilled need, usually you'll find a lot of demand for what you're doing to fill that need for a long time to come. And that's definitely what we're seeing with internet researchers and internet research specialists. So along these lines, I'd like to talk to you about a couple people who have just started, in the middle of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. They just started out as internet research specialists, and I'd just like to tell you, how they're faring. So Cindy Pierre started her internet research specialist business in late 2010, and approached a client who advertised through AWAI, and said she was interested in doing their internet research for them. And they were happy to sign her on for one project to try her out. And as soon as they saw the research she was doing, I guess they were just looking for confirmation that she had the right skills. They're already discussing multi-project deals that are going to ensure that she has ongoing income from this opportunity for a while, while still enjoying all the freedom and flexibility of working at home. They also, it's worth noting, they specifically checked with her as to whether she'd learned her internet research specialist skills through AWAI. So they recognized the value of AWAI as an organization and the value of what they taught in the Internet Research Specialist program. And they wanted to make sure that this client wanted to make sure that Cindy had gone through that program and learned her Internet Research Specialist skills that way. Jerry Holman, when he started his career as an Internet Research Specialist in mid-2010, he actually transitioned from a different niche within marketing, and found a new niche, as an Internet Research Specialist, that was in dire need of research help. And he got a lot of leads from approaching this niche. And when he was telling us about it, he was frankly surprised by how much need there was. But one of his leads very quickly turned into ongoing research work. And when he emailed AWAI and Katie Yakel, the executive director of AWAI, to talk about this, this is a specific quote from his email. He said, "Geez, can't thank you guys enough, and somehow I feel like I should be sending you a finder's fee check." Because this client had the potential for quite a bit of income and quite a bit of work for him as an Internet Research Specialist. And really all AWAI did was provide the program and provide the instructions that he needed to get started in his Internet Research Specialist business. But AWAI introduced the opportunity to him. He followed through on how to become an Internet Research Specialist and how to create your Internet Research Specialist business and how to start getting clients. And he started getting results very quickly in the middle of a bad economy, in mid-2010. Jim Crisco had an interesting story. Within days of completing AWAI's program on how to become an Internet Research Specialist, he had multiple clients paying him $50 per hour for rush research work. He had a friend who was working on a book, and he offered to his friend that he would do a little bit of research for him. And primarily what he was looking for from his friend was some confirmation that his research skills were actually helpful, that what he was doing as a researcher was helpful, and maybe a testimonial. He offered the work to his friend for free. He said, I just want to get a little bit of practice, and you let me know if this works out for you and if you like it. Well, the friend referred him to another author, and a friend who had a book going to press in a couple days. And this author contacted their publisher, who contacted Jim and said, "Hey, we have this book going to press in a couple days. Can you help us out?" And Jim said, "Sure, I can. That'll be $50 per hour. I'd be happy to help you out, do some research for you." And the publisher said, "Great, here's half the book's worth of topics that we need a little bit of extra information on. Can you please turn this around ASAP?" And he did, and he did a little bit of rush research work, and got a nice check as a result. And that work led to other referrals as well to other authors who needed research help to get their books out and to provide more meaty content for the people for their readers. And these are just a couple stories about what can happen when you become an Internet Research Specialist. And not everybody's having the same success, and I know some people are having even more success. What tends to happen is when people follow through and start doing it, they start having success stories like these, though. If you say, "All right, well, this is a bad economy, but I'm going to make this work for me," this is something that you can succeed at, and you can enjoy all the benefits that Sandy's had, and that Cindy's had, and that Jerry's had, and that Jim's had, and that other people who've gone through the AWAI Internet Research Specialist program have had. You can, as an Internet Research Specialist, really, whether you follow the program or not, I do recommend the program because it gives you a lot of shortcuts. But as an Internet Research Specialist, what you're doing is you're filling a market need. And that need is just as great in this economy as it is in other economies. So if you go out there and say, "Hey, I want to help you guys out," it's something where you can be successful in this economy. And forget high unemployment rates and whatever, you're taking your fate into your own hand, and this is something that really you can do, and you can enjoy the benefits. So, we touched on this briefly before, but how flexible are the hours? Put simply, you can work when you want, from where you want. The only limitations on your hours, they're going to be self-imposed. You can choose to work from 9 to 5, like an everyday 40-hour-a-week job. You can work late at night, if that's what works best for you. You can work part-time at home. I have an infant son, and I like to work when he's taking a nap in the afternoon. I go pick him up from his daycare after lunch. He comes home, he takes a couple-hour nap, and I work during that time. But then when he gets up, I'm there for him, and that's something that you can do when you have such an awesome work-at-home career. And what you'll really enjoy about this is these flexible hours really give you a feeling of control over your life. That, if there's something you need to do in the middle of the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, you're not asking your boss for permission. You're not tallying your time off to make sure you don't go over that 2-week or 3-week or 4-week limit that your employer has imposed. You're just, getting up and going to do it. And maybe you'll make up that work later, if you need to, as far as income and all that. Or maybe you won't make up that work later. It's up to you. When you have such a great work-at-home job as being an internet research specialist, and you're really able to enjoy the benefits of the writer's life, I think the flexibility of your hours and your time are one of the keys that makes this so great. Regardless of how much you're earning, it doesn't matter if you don't have control over your time. And as an internet research specialist, you have complete control. If you want to offer overnight research services, you can do that. But you do that knowing that you're choosing to do that. That it's not somebody else forcing you to work overnight. So that's a little bit about the flexibility of the hours. What do you need to get started as an internet research specialist? Number 1, you need your computer. Number 2, you need an internet connection. And number 3, I said it before. This is optional. You could do what Sandy did, and you could kind of do it the hard way, and you could figure it all out on your own. You can figure out, what exact type of research is needed to make clients happy, who the best clients are, how to approach a client, how to get a client. You can do all that on your own. And, just knowing that the internet research specialist opportunity exists gives you the opportunity to go out there and do it on your own and to figure it all out on your own. And, that's fine if that's something that you want to do. But if you want to shortcut the entire process, if you want to get Sandy's years of learning compiled into a single program, including, not only how to do it, the best way to request research from your clients, the best way to actually do the research, what good sources are, what they look like, what proof and credibility the writer is looking for to add into their writing, and then how to give that back to your client, how to present that to your client in a way that makes a lot of sense for them. As well as, how to transform having that technical skill set into building a business by knowing how to sell your internet research skills, which clients to approach, how to get one client to sell your services to other people. That's what you get in Secrets of Becoming an Internet Research Specialist. You get what to do and how to do it, the technical skills. You get what it takes to get paid. You figure out how to market your services. And that shortcuts those many years of learning that Sandy did and allows you to jump right in and have a going and growing and thriving business as an internet research specialist right away. And all you have to do, Cindy, Jerry, Jim prove this, is simply just follow the instructions in the program and do what it says to do. And that's what it takes to get started as an internet research specialist. So, like I said, number 3 here is optional. Getting a copy of this is optional. But it's also fully guaranteed that you can try it. You can say, all right, this doesn't make sense, or this makes sense, or this isn't worth it, or this is worth it, and make your own decision by simply investing in the program and taking advantage of AWAI's guarantee. If you don't feel like it's worth everything they say it is and more. So I'd like to look back before we wrap up here. I'd like to look back at what you now know as a result of this video as part of the Work at Home Career Summit on becoming an internet research specialist, and what to do next. So what you now know is what you do as an internet research specialist, what your day looks like. You know why this is such a hot opportunity. You know your income potential. You know why qualifications don't really matter for internet research specialists. You know how simple it is to get going, get started. You know how to get clients. You know why this economy isn't hurting the business of internet research specialists. You know how this opportunity gives you control of your time and your freedom. And you know what it takes to get started right now as an internet research specialist. So why don't you get started? Pick up a copy of AWAI Secrets of Becoming an Internet Research Specialist today. Prove it for yourself. They have the risk-free trial. You're putting money down, but you're not committing yourself. You're just saying, I want to try this out, and AWAI will provide a prompt and courteous refund if you decide that it's not right for you. But frankly, I think what you'll find is that this is one of the best new work-at-home career opportunities to come along in years. I haven't seen anything like it, and I've been paying attention for a while, and I'm really happy that AWAI has asked me to be a part of it, because I've seen so many lives that have been changed and started to be changed by creating internet research specialist business. So thank you for listening to this presentation, and thank you for learning more about how to become an internet research specialist. To learn more, visit this website. It's http://www.awaionline.com/internet research at home. And again, that's awaionline.com/internet research at home. And visit that, read more about the opportunity, make your own decision. Make your decision today that you're going to jump in and try this out. Make your decision in 30 days or so, once you've had the opportunity to go through the program and learn what it's teaching, and maybe try it and even get a gig as an internet research specialist, and then make your final decision that that's the right opportunity for you. So again, you can learn more at awaionline.com/internet research at home. This is the Work at Home Career Summit from AWAI, American Writers and Artists, Inc. And this is Roy Furr signing off. I want to thank you very much.